Hello, my name is Connor Smyth, and I'm going to have a talk to you about another electrochemistry-based project. In particular, I'm looking at the anodes in lithium-ion batteries. So, as we're all aware, lithium-ion batteries are very prevalent today. They're in all of our portable electronic devices, cars, etc. But they're still in their relative infancy when compared to more established technologies like lead-acid or nickel-metal hydride batteries. So there's still very, very strong drive to make them thinner, to make them lighter, to make them more flexible, as well as to improve their cell performance, their capacities, their cyclabilities, to reduce the time it takes to charge them, and so on. So currently, the most popular anode within commercial cells, I'd say, is graphite. So as we can see here, it's got a relatively low, I'll talk about that in a second, relatively low capacity, about 250 milliamp hours per gram across the 10 cycles. And hopefully what's clear is that it has a very high cyclability. It doesn't deviate at all across 10 cycles, and I can assure you that it will stay fairly constant up to a few hundred cycles, maybe more, depending on manufacturing techniques, things like that. In industry, you can achieve higher capacities, up to like 310, 320 milliamp hours per gram due to better manufacturing processes. I am going to deviate away from carbon-based anodes, though, and look at silicon-based anodes. And what I hope is immediately clear is that we can achieve significantly higher capacities, over an order of magnitude higher, up to 2,000 milliamp hours per gram there. But we experience extreme cyclability issues. There's a very drastic capacity fade, and that's just across 10 cycles. If I was to extend this graph to 30 cycles, the capacity would be similar to what graphite is. So that is what I wish to address. I wish to increase the capacity of lithium-ion cells by using silicon anodes, but obviously we've got severe cyclability issues. So how do we go about this? So first we have to understand what's going on inside the cell. So when you're charging your cell, the lithium ions enter into the silicon structure. The silicon structure expands, increases in volume by about 400%, say. You then discharge your cell, contracts, charge it again, expands, discharge it, contracts. Do this over and over again. You get cracks appearing in your electrode, and eventually you get severe cracks and parts of your electrode completely separates from the bulk, and that active material is lost. So the interconnectivity within the cell is broken down. You can no longer use that material to contribute towards the capacity of your cell. Obviously, there are other mechanisms in place, but I'll just pick the most simplistic for now. So my plan, obviously, is to improve the cyclability of the silicon electrode. So starting with nanoparticles. If you reduce the size of your silicon to begin with, you can better accommodate the volume expansion. The graph I showed before did use silicon nanoparticles, so as you can see, that is not a good enough option at this moment in time. So I'm going to move on to nano-structuring. So you might be aware of some nanostructures that already exist, nanofibers, silicon nanotubes, that kind of thing. And then finally, which was suggested in the title, I'm going to include graphene, and hopefully that will improve the interconnectivity within the cell. And even if cracks do occur, potentially we won't lose as much material. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Hi, Connor, you all right? My question was, have you seen many literature sources where they've produced silicon anodes without, say, enhanced conductive additives like the graphene that you're going to try, but still got good cyclability?
Well, that comes down to different nanostructures. So when they do the silicon nanofibers, it's really narrow, so it only expands, I think laterally would be the word, and they can better accommodate the expansion rather than expanding in every direction. They can control which way it expands and accommodate for that. Silicon nanotubes again, and equally you can contain your silicon within like an inactive matrix. So I think they can use like silica structures, and they coat the silicon onto the surface of that. The silica doesn't expand, the silicon does, but it's contained within this inactive matrix, so you don't get the cracking that I demonstrated basically.
I've got a quick question. Do you have any possibility to do any in situ electrochemical TEM to look at single particle expansion and contraction in much finer detail?
Yes, that is my plan. So I will be doing a lot of microscopy during this project. So SEM, TEM, but equally we've got this new module, liquid cell attachments we can attach to the TEM, and I'll hopefully be able to observe the lithium intercalation into the silicon structure and record it in the TEM. Obviously you can't see the lithium, but I'll hopefully be able to see the silicon structure expand and contract, which will evidence the lithium entering into it.